In growth conversations, we talk a lot about urgency, but not nearly enough about timing. Pushing too hard at the wrong moment creates burnout. Waiting too long at the right moment creates regret. Strategic patience isn't passive, it's intentional. And so we're going to break down how to know when to press forward aggressively and when restraint is actually the smarter move. Let's talk about it right after this.
Educate, empower, enable, impact. Thank you for tuning in to That Will Never Work, an award-winning podcast where we share inspiring information and personal experiences related to business and the entrepreneurial journey from those who are leaders in their respective field. Now, here's your host, author and business coach, Maurice.
How do you know? How do you decide when it's time to act and when it's time to pause? What happens is in this microwave space, in this social media environment and climate, at times, and I have been guilty of this as well, of looking at who I believe are my competitors, who are my comrades. And so I tend to compare myself and wondering, why aren't I doing things the way they are? Why aren't I getting the results that I think that I should be getting, especially compared to these individuals? And so, unfortunately, we get caught up in rushing the result. And one of the things that I've had to learn is that, hey, you know what? Everything is not for me in that particular moment. And so one of the things that I really would like to press upon you in our quick 10 minutes is patience is not the same as delayed. See, we feel like delay is a negative thing. But at times, delay can avoid those moments of discomfort. Patience prepares us for execution. Strategic professionals and executives, they don't wait because they're afraid. They wait because they're building capacity, clarity, or leverage. And so as you're doing in your waiting period, are you doing the necessary research that is required for you to get to the next level? And so while you're in that patient space, while you're building that capacity, while you're building that leverage, it can require some discernment, which ultimately affects your momentum. See, constant motion without discernment can lead to exhaustion and or burnout. And strategic patience allows you to observe the patterns, the trends, gather that information, and strengthen your positioning before committing to what resources you have or committing to the actions that you need to take to move forward. And action is powerful only when it's well-timed. See, the same move can succeed or fail based solely on timing. Knowing when to act requires you to have awareness, confidence, and trust in the process, not impulse or pressure. And sometimes we can feel that impulse because, hey, we want it right now. Sometimes we have that space of impulse control, emotional intelligence, whatever it is, when we really take a look at what timing really means. And then, we look at the outside pressures because, again, and so I'm going to use the idea of me being married for over 25 years. I can express to you that in my corporate America job, I was feel like I was pressured at home to excel more in my corporate America job because I feel like, I felt like I knew that, that we needed resources to help fund our lifestyle, our perceived lifestyle, and or the lifestyle that other family members expected for us to have by being married, whatever. Like, you don't know what the pressures are and where they're actually going to come from. And sometimes we allow that pressure to really compact on us. And there's a message within my 50 Visionaries project where one of those visionaries, they said, when you have that pressure, what are you deciding to become? Either coal or diamond? Which one is it? Which pressure, how is it going to affect you? How are you going to come out of it on the other side? And I think that's one of the things that we need to understand today is that pressure sometimes forces us to be impatient. So poor timing can also waste our effort. And if our effort is wasted or feel like it can be wasted, now our confidence is wavering. We may not trust the process. We may not trust, and I'll use my, those of you who know I'm from the city of Philadelphia, and the Philadelphia 76ers, which is our National Basketball Association team, right? And for the longest time, my mantra was, trust the process. And so what was the process? The process was drafting right, building our draft picks, our staff, teaching people how to play basketball the right way. And each one of them in the building had to buy into the culture, right, of trusting the process, trusting that the process is going to work. And sometimes we don't understand that, or we don't have patience for that because we feel like we need to achieve this thing right now. And see, this information, it matters because as a professional, as an entrepreneur, those who master strategic patience, they make fewer reactive decisions. And they make more impactful moves over a period of time. A lot of times we don't understand what that really means of being reactive. We feel like, they make this move, I need to make this move or whatever it is. But sometimes we don't understand what that move really meant. Sometimes we don't understand that move was even, and I'm talking about as far as our people that's on social media or our competitors, sometimes we don't know why they've done that. We don't know why someone applied for this position after they said, hey, I'm going to rock out with you for the next 10 to 15 years in this place. We don't know what their external things are going on. So we have to feel like we have to be reactive to what they're doing, what they're saying, how they're feeling and moving. So a lot of times we need to understand that we need to be less reactive and create more opportunities for more impactful situations. So growth doesn't reward the fastest mover, but it rewards the wisest one. And before you log off of this episode, jump into the next one, I really would like for you to evaluate one decision you've been delaying and ask yourself, am I patient or am I avoiding? If you listen to the theme of this particular series of the podcast, I'm asking you, which way are you going? And it really lends itself to my question that I ask every guest, right? Is my would you rather question. Would you rather choose 3 doors or a fork in the road? Which one are you today? Which are you choosing? Which road are you choosing in the sense of, are you going to choose yourself, delaying, or are you, or the idea of being patient, or are you actually avoiding a situation? Sometimes, yes, there are those two answers. But then you got the three doors, which is always the third option as well. So either one of those options or ideas can work for you in this particular situation. I hope that you have enjoyed this episode. I hope that you share it. And I thank you very much for listening today.
Thanks for listening. Follow Maurice Chisholm on social media to stay connected and check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, that will never work. Or will it?